Hello, it's me again with the terrible haircut, running on 5 hours of sleep. And, I had to run on 5 hours of sleep and record this at 10 with a barely shaven face for this one, you know? This is going to be the most embarrassing video I've ever done, probably. Is this actually recording? Yeah, okay, it is. Um, yeah, so I'm being exposed right now. I'm a huge freaking weeb. Uh, I don't really watch anime anymore, but a year or two ago, I was pretty into it. So I thought, why not rate all the anime I've seen so far? By the way, this doesn't look like a lot, but I counted it, and it was like, what was it? It was like in the low 30s, and you got to remember these animes have like multiple seasons. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is I'm an omega weeb, and this is not a good look for me. All right, let's start it off. Let's start it off with an OG one, I guess. Naruto. That's probably the first non kids anime I've ever seen. Like I started watching when I was like, well, I guess it is a kids anime, but I watched it when I was like 9 or 10. I started watching it, and then I finished it like 2 years ago because I watched it when I was 9 or 10, and then I never saw it again, and I went back to it 2 years ago just for nostalgia's sake, and I actually finished it. So this box right here is gonna rank both Shippuden and the original, and without the filler, with cutting out the filler. And honestly, I don't know if it deserves a B, but just out of nostalgia, I'm gonna have to give it at least a B. I mean, it's such a classic. It's so nostalgic, right? I'm gonna have to give it a B. I mean, there's some pretty good stuff in there. Like the entire pain arc is pretty good. I like the speech he gives. There's some pretty decent you know plot lines in Naruto. There's some interesting stuff in there. It's not terrible. JoJo Part 4, man, my opinion on the JoJo series is so controversial because I saw it on like viz.com for some reason, and I didn't have ad block. So I would watch the entire series with ads on it, and like that totally skewed my perception. Part 4, I liked it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge JoJo fan. I mean, it's fun, but I don't know, man. Like, am I crazy? I'm not a I know some people like they die for JoJo. JoJo, they see it, they see a freaking map of the world, and they gotta go like the world. I don't know. There's some really unhinged JoJo fans out there, and I'm not one of them. Honestly, if anything, I'd put freaking Naruto as a more memorable plotline compared to JoJo Part 4. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like being completely honest, I'm sorry. My hero, dude, come on, that's a C. I saw the entirety of season one. I never saw any other season apart from one. I saw the entirety of season one in like a day because it was over quarantine, and let's just say I wasn't a huge fan of it. I mean, I saw the entire thing because I had nothing else to do that day, so I just like laid down on my couch basically, or I laid down on my bed or something, and I turned it on a crappy TV, and I watched the entirety of season one in a day because I had nothing else to do. But yeah, it's not a it season one just didn't captivate me. I know there's a bunch of I just don't understand the hype around My Hero. I'm not gonna lie. Now we have our first S tier. Hunter x Hunter is it's so good when it wants to be a pretty basic shonen, like for the first 2 seasons or so, first maybe like 3 seasons or so, when it wants to be not a it was never a basic shonen, but when it just wants to be a shonen, it's really good at it. There's a lot of interesting plot twists. Like honestly, I feel like a lot of these animes have a sort of gimmick to them, like I don't know, like Death Note kind of has a gimmick, I would say, of super smart people with a notebook. I mean, I guess that's just a plot point, but yeah, Hunter x Hunter, there's no like quote unquote gimmicks. There's nothing like, like in My Hero they have quirks. Hunter x Hunter, it's just a really, really good shonen. Like the plot itself is just so good. And that's what makes it pretty special in my books. It's like if I describe the plot, it would sound kind of like a pretty basic shonen, but it's just executed so well, and the plot has so many plot twists, and it's just so good. Yeah, watch Hunter x Hunter. It's just so good. It was like the first anime I saw during quarantine. It's just I cannot sing its praises enough. Jujutsu Kaisen, gets an A. And honestly, I kind of used to be a JJK hater. When season one came out over quarantine, I was pretty. I watched the entire thing and I liked it, but after I finished it and then I looked up back on it, it was not that great. I mean, season one, it was interesting, it was entertaining. I don't know, maybe this is crazy, but season one just didn't seem like that much of a that special to me. But I'll put this in A just because of how good season two was. I mean, season two was just amazing from beginning to end. Season two was just absolutely spectacular for JJK. It took routes I would never expect it to go. Like based on season one, I totally expected to be like something akin to My Hero or One Piece or something, but it took a pretty dark path in season two, and I was kind of a fan of it. There was some really interesting plot twists that, of course, all got spoiled for me, but and nonetheless, I'm generally impressed by how better it became in season two. Like it's not even yeah. One Punch Man, including seasons one and two, I'd put it at an A tier above JJK because One Punch Man. Okay, I saw One Punch Man before like everyone was into anime, and even and I didn't or like sorry before I really got into anime and I was not a like during middle school and stuff. I always thought anime was like were extremely weird people, but everyone saw One Punch Man. Like no matter who you were, whether you were 5 or 80, whether you were a dog or a cat guy, everyone saw One Punch Man, and I think that says a lot about it because it just shows how good it is. How I guess there is a gimmick to the show, but it's just really well executed. Season one was really well drawn, and honestly, people really hate on season two. But okay, sure, the animation did decrease a lot in terms of quality, but it was still a really good show. The plot was still great, and there wasn't really anything wrong with season two per se. There was some CGI, I guess, but I mean, all of these modern shows have CGI, so season two was actually pretty decent in my opinion. I liked where the plot was going. Ava, it's been I'm 18 now, so it's been like 4 years since I've seen Ava. Same thing with One Punch Man. It's been like 5, 6 years since I first saw the first season, and then I saw the second whenever that came out. Ava, um, when I saw it, it really did have an impact on me. Like I was really intrigued and I get not inspired, but like I was impacted by the show. Haha, the third impact. Oh whatever. Oh whatever. It was interesting. Yeah, it was a good show. There was some sus stuff in there, but overall, I liked Neon Genesis Evangelion. Nothing wrong with the show. It was really interesting. It was the first show that I saw that was like really dark and I guess in like an adult anime. So, oh man, an adult. No, it was, oh dude, that's okay. Let's skip over that. It was it was an adult anime, but it was not an adult. You get what I'm saying? Um, honestly, it doesn't go in A tier because it was entertaining and it did have an impact on me. Just wasn't as entertaining as I'll put it in the bottom of A tier, yeah, behind JJK. I don't know. People glaze Ava so much along with JoJo, but honestly, maybe I'm just a simpleton or something. Maybe I'm just extremely dumb, but I liked Ava a lot. JoJo, I have pretty controversial opinions, but Ava is it's pretty good. Maybe not as good as some people would think, but Yu Yu Hakusho, I'm not done with this. Not even close to done. But based on what I've been reading, it's like it's pretty good. The theme song is really good, and the plot is kind of it's interesting, but the animation's outdated, and it's kind of hard to follow a show in the '90s in modern day. Full Metal Alchemist is a weird one. It's a really weird one because I saw it when I was again 13 or yeah around 13 or so, and that's or 12, and I was like I don't think I could really like understand the show that well, and this was before I enjoyed anime in any sense whatsoever. So I just I think a lot of things in the show were lost on me. Um, I watched the original and Brotherhood, all of the original and all of Brotherhood. But where would I put this? Okay, let's put it at the end of A tier. I know Full Metal is the highest rated show on um IMDb, or was it My Anime List or something? Oh my god, something crazy. I don't understand why it's rated so high. If I'm going to be completely honest, it's a great show, but doesn't it definitely doesn't deserve to be number one anime ever in my opinion. I mean, it's a fine show with a good plot, but then again, I watched it when I was 12 or 13. I probably didn't understand anything. JoJo Part Two, it's sorry, it just made me think of the Shija meme, but whatever. Oh my god, I'm actually dude. I actually sound like a redditor right now, but whatever. Anyways, oh man, this is kind of hard. Do I put it in front of Naruto? Yeah, I guess so. Like the animation was really good. Everything was really good with JoJo Part Two. Nothing wrong with it. Can't find any fault. Is this Steins Gate Zero? Yeah, this is Steins Gate Zero. Um. Oh crap! I didn't add the original Steins Gate. Let me do that real quick. Yep, that's the original. Okay, Steins Gate Zero. Well, let's rate the original Steins Gate 2. S tier. Um, okay, I'm not gonna lie. The only bad thing about Steins Gate is that there's some like really really weeb cringe stuff in there for like the first couple episodes, and even towards the end, there's some like really cringe. I don't even know how to say it, like kawaii, whatever. Uh, Weird stuff in there that I'm personally not a fan of. It was kind of cringe to listen to. I'm not gonna lie, but ignoring that, the plot itself was so intriguing and so good, and I totally didn't expect that plot twist. If you know, you know. It took me out of left field entirely, and it's just a great. The plot itself is just so interesting and good, and the gimmick is good too. Steins Gate Zero, I'm gonna have to put at the end of A tier. It was just like it was like if you watch Steins Gate and you liked it, here's like a not an alternative route, but like here's what happened like in between episode 23 and 24, like some weird stuff, how we got that guy from the future on his phone, whatever. It's just basically like a spin-off, but it's really really good. Like for a spin-off, it's amazing. Tokyo Revengers, I mean, this is gonna get me so much. If anyone actually sees this, it's gonna give me a lot of hate, but the Tokyo Revengers is like, okay, I'm only counting season one here. I read ahead in the manga a bit, and the manga totally fell off. But only counting season one, it's a hell of a good show. It's really good. I guess I just have a thing for time travel shows, but man, it's the plot, the action is not very well animated, but like the plot and the characters are really really cool. It's just a really cool anime all around, and it has a nice plot. It's fun to watch. Vinland Saga, S tier. Oh, did I put it from 100? No. Should I? No, I'll put it right behind Hunter. I think Hunter is my favorite of all time. Vinland Saga is gets an S tier because, dude, oh my god, there's just something special about this show. I saw if it was just season one, if I was just ranking season one, it'd be like a low A. I like season one. I saw it over quarantine on Amazon Prime. It was pretty good. I like the action. I liked the plot. I just thought it was an interesting shonen. Then randomly, like last year, season two was airing, and I was like, I'll watch it. I'm sure there's just gonna be like more there's gonna be a good plot and more like pretty cool fight scenes. But oh boy, was I not expecting season two at all. Vinland Saga season two is just perfect. It's like it's not so okay. There's a point where anime tries to be so deep and like dark and like weird, like Ava. I'm not gonna lie, Ava kind of gets to that point where it's like it's so obvious that the creator is trying to be kind of edgy and deep, I guess. But Vinland Saga, it's just like it does it so naturally, and it does it in such a way that it's not like is my mic even on? It does it in such a way that's not even it's not even edgy at all. It's just if you know, you know. Like season two was just incredible. The message it preached was just so beautiful to me. Yeah, season two was just oh my god, it was beautiful. I still think about some scenes from season two sometimes. Oh my god, yeah, the I have no enemy scene, everything. Season two is just I cannot express how much I love season two of Vinland Saga. and how much I can't wait for season three. Yeah, Demon Slayer. When this see this is hard. This is only yeah, I'd say if we're counting the manga alongside it. See, this is hard because if we're only counting season one, the plot and the animation deserves to be an A tier. Really, the animation is just superb. It's like on a whole nother level. It's ridiculous. I've only seen season one of the anime, by the way. But then sorry, not season. What am I saying? But then I read the rest of the manga after I finished season one, and dude, there's parts of the Demon Slayer manga that I was just like zombieing through. I had the physical volumes, and usually when I have physical volumes, I enjoy reading it so much more than the online ones. But even when I had the physical ones, oh my god, I was like, there were some points in the manga where it felt like a chore to finish. It felt like I just wanted to get through some of those parts, and it felt, I don't know how to explain it. Some parts just felt so generic I could barely get through it. And I'm sure in the show, like the anime, the animation is good enough to compensate. But for me, I was reading the manga, so I was like, oh my god, when is this gonna freaking end? You know? So yeah, I'm gonna have to put that at the end of B tier just because the manga it drained on for so long. However, the animation is amazing, genuinely amazing for season one. Mob Psycho, that's got to be another S tier. Again, I just really like the plot of Mob Psycho. I think the plot's amazing. All three seasons, the plot is amazing. The characters are so lovable and memorable. But again, I think I really like how Vinland Saga season two and Mob Psycho they preach a really deep message. Well, as deep as anime can get. It's not gonna be like reading a freaking Victor Hugo book or something. It's not on that level, but it preaches a really interesting and, like, I guess kind of generic message: friendship, good, uh, being good. Like it sounds kind of silly when you say it out loud, but it's done in such a beautiful way, honestly. Mob Psycho, it's the animation is just incredible, impeccable. Mob Psycho animation is the peak of human performance as it comes to the digital arts. It's amazing, the animation. And again, I'm repeating myself. The plot, characters all good, the message good, and yeah, it deserves to be an S tier, right between Vinland and Steins Gate. Erased. See, this one's hard, and as you can tell, I have a thing for time travel shows. I really do, but I really do have a thing for time travel shows. But Erased, like the first, like I say until the last two episodes, it's amazing. It's peak. Erased is peak, and I loved it. And I watched it with a friend, and we both loved it. It was amazing. But then the last two episodes it got really weird, and not weird, but I was like, okay, I don't think I liked the plot twist too much when it was revealed who the killer was. I didn't like that plot twist too much. I mean, it's kind of, honestly, I kind of expected it. I called it on episode one, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. And then like how the ending played out, it was like an anime exclusive ending, and it was all right, I guess. But I read the manga, and the manga ending was so much better. So I guess if we're including the manga ending and we throw out the anime one, I'll put Erased. Low key, I put Erased above Ava. Is that crazy, guys? I think this list is absolutely crazy to anyone apart from me. I put Erased in front of FMA and Ava. I think that's pretty nutty for most people. Cowboy Bebop. Oh man. Oh man. I don't think okay, no one's gonna watch this video, so it's alright. Cowboy Bebop. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm I'm so I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna move JoJo Part 4 up here because I haven't finished Yu Yu Hakusho. Wait, actually, I haven't finished it, so I won't even rank Yu Yu. I'm so sorry. I know people love Cowboy Bebop. They put it at an S tier, but for me, Cowboy Bebop was like, dude, it was like, honestly, I might have to put it beneath Naruto even. It was. I like the message of Cowboy Bebop, like the things from your past catch up to you. There were some interesting concepts, some really interesting ideas. I bought the entire Blu-ray series and I watched all of it. But looking back on it, there was some really good stuff in there, but it just wasn't. Maybe I'm brain dead. Maybe I'm a zoomer that needs a constant action 24/7. But Cowboy Bebop, it was pretty slow paced for me. Yeah, again, maybe my brain is just deep fried, right? But honestly, Cowboy Bebop was, there just wasn't anything that was too memorable for me. I mean, I guess I like Spike. I like the other characters. The characters are cool, but it just felt like not my kind of show. You know, it's just not my kind of show. Tokyo Ghoul get to a low C. Um, I saw it when I was like 14. Duh. The first season was intriguing, and then even as a 14-year-old, the second season was freaking dumb. I just remember like um not liking it that much. Dude, AOT is so tough for me because AOT is so hard. The first three seasons of AOT are nothing short of the highest peak of anime, the highest peak of cinema, the highest peak of fiction. The first three seasons, really, they are. And then I know people started liking season four even more than the past three, but okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. There were weren't there like three parts and then two parts as a movie or something? But like there were some parts or sections of AOT where I was just like, dude, this is kind of stupid and like not okay, not stupid. Oh my god, this opinion is gonna sound absolutely crazy, but there were parts of part four where I was like, this is just nutty because like it felt kind of forced. Like the conflict between the Eldians and Marlians, it felt kind of not forced, but it felt like I don't know even how to say it. It just felt like the author was it. It just didn't feel authentic. Like parts of part four were amazing, but then some parts of part four kind of dragged on a bit. Not yeah, like I think maybe it was just like poorly paced. So I felt like this political conflict was kind of it felt kind of weird at certain parts of part four, probably because it was poorly paced and they stretched it out over so many, episodes and stuff. And that's pretty I think that might have been dumb of them to do. So but the ending I actually liked. The ending was actually pretty decent. Like I like the message like, oh, humanity will always be at war no matter what. I get it, I get it. But at the same time the ending was kind of dumb. Like the ending, the message was interesting, but I like it had a brave and edgy ending. Like Eren Yeager actually commits genocide against the entire world. But yeah, I have some very mixed, extremely mixed feel. Oh, did I just spoil OT? Whatever. It's been a couple months. Yeah, I have extremely mixed feelings on AOT. However, I think I'm gonna have to put it at the top, very top of A tier. And I know it sounded like I was just trash talking it, right? Let me put Steins Gate a bit, Steins Gate Zero a bit further up. But it sounds like I was trash talking it this entire time. But there's something about AOT that's just special. Like the first two seasons were just so amazing and special. There are parts of part four I didn't like, but overall part four was really incredible too. It's just all around a very, very, very well made and good show with an interesting message and interesting plot. Solo leveling. Um, it's just a really good, uh, power fantasy anime. What can I say? It's just really good at what it does, and it's fun to watch. But I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of something where you just turn your brain off and you watch it. Yeah, I mean, as a Korean, I want to give it a higher rank, but um, it's just a really fun show to watch. I mean, it's just really entertaining. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I feel like these other shows that are above it, they kind of have some interesting like almost plot gimmicks or plot points or like some message. I'm not gonna lie, Full Metal Alchemist doesn't really have whatever. It's been a while. Uh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to put solo leveling here. Parasite, it's been like 4 years since I watched it and I barely remember anything. All I remember is that Parasite was a really fun time to watch. It was like just really fun to watch, and interesting and cool and gory. Now, I've never seen this show. I don't know what this is, but if in a theoretical universe I did see the show, which I haven't, of course, because I would never watch something like this. Um, I'd have to put at the end of C tier because theoretically in a universe where I watched the show, but I didn't watch the show in this universe, right? If I theoretically did watch the show, then I would assume season one was pretty damn good, and season one I liked. But then as soon as I heard about what was going on in the manga, and then I read the manga, the same thing just kept on happening over and over again in this theoretical world where I read the manga because I would never do that in real life, right? I would never touch this anime with a 6 foot pole in this reality. But in a theoretical world where I did, I'd have to put at the end of C tier Kaguya-sama. Dude, Kaguya-sama is. Should I put Kaguya-sama in front of freaking AOT? Is that crazy? The Kaguya-sama is just so. It's a. I'm not a huge slice of life guy, but Kaguya-sama is just so funny. I'm not a huge fan of slice of life, but Kaguya-sama, the plot is just so interesting. The manga at the end got really, really weird. They went in a direction that I really didn't like towards the end of the manga, but Kaguya-sama is just so damn funny. I remember watching the teaser for season three and like laughing my head off. Kaguya-sama is just so entertaining and funny and amazing. Yeah, honestly, Kaguya-sama makes me regret not using my high school years to the fullest. But yeah, JoJo Part 5. I'll put it above Part 4 right there. I'm sorry, I'm not a huge JoJo fan. I'm sorry. This is this is gonna be blasphemous. This is gonna rustle some jimmies, but JoJo Part 3, most famous part and most beloved part of JoJo, not that good. Because listen, JoJo Part 3, it had some cool stuff. It had some interesting. It introduced dance. That was cool. Yeah. There were just some parts of Part 3 that I really despised, especially towards the first part of Part 3. There's just some stuff in there. I was like, why is this in here? There's like a villain of the week thing, and I was just like, dude, this is so boring, and it's barely moving the plot forward. And like, I don't know. I just did not like Part 3. I'm so sorry. I know that's blasphemous. This is blaspheming, but just not a huge fan of Part 3, honestly. Honestly, I prefer part 1 to it by loads. I actually really enjoyed. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really enjoyed Part 1. I mean, it wasn't amazing. There wasn't anything like super special about it. It was just a damn good turn your brain off and watch it show. It was pretty good. I like Part 1 a lot. Doctor Stone. When I watched the anime over quarantine, it was just really fun and interesting, and I like the, I guess, science-ness part of it. Put it right here. Okay, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I would have to put Fullmetal Alchemist behind Parasite. I'm so sorry. If I'm being completely honest, because I barely remember anything from that show. I saw it when I was like 12 or 13, so if I'm being completely honest, Dororo is just it's a really good show. I also like the message of Dororo, but it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to go absolutely nuts and start screaming about. Bakemonogatari, but I'll this is a standard for the entire Monogatari series. Do people love, just like JoJo? People love Monogatari, and maybe I'm brain dead, which I probably am. But the Monogatari series, I saw the entire thing, like the entire series, when I was like 14, 15. And there's just some stuff in there that is irredeemably weird. It's not even like, oh, this is so artistic, I can't understand it. It's just like, this shit is so weird. Like, whoever made this should genuinely, like, they should get their hard drive checked, because there's some stuff in there that is like borderline. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Um, So yeah, the plot was kind of interesting, I guess, but there's some like low key really weird stuff in there, and some parts of Monogatari I just didn't find that entertaining. Um, some parts I did find really fun, some parts I didn't. So I know people love this show. It has like a super cult following, but I would have to put it at like, okay, I'll put it in above Naruto, obviously, but what is it? Okay, it's in front of Dororo in terms of like artistic merit. Like factoring in artistic merit, I think Monogatari is like kind of one of a kind. So it's in front of Dororo and like the JoJo's because I'm not a huge JoJo guy, as you can tell, and Naruto. But yeah, it's not as good as these shows. I'd say at least not as entertaining for me. Blue Lock's just a really good sports anime. Blue Lock is just like a really good. It's not gonna preach you some deep message. It's not super artsy. It's just a damn good anime. Really interesting characters and really fun plot points. I enjoyed it every step of the way. In fact, I might have to put Blue Lock in. Is this nutty, guys? Is putting Blue Lock in front of FMA and Monogatari and JoJo crazy? No, it's not. It's not that good, but it was a damn good show. It was really good. But like in terms of create, if we're being completely objective here, like yeah, it's not amazing. Death Note, just a good show. No, fuck it, I'm playing Blue. I'm playing Blue Lock here. Death Note. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I think it does get really interesting. But I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'll have to deduct it a few points just because of the second part of the show got really strange. Not strange, but I didn't really like the second part. But Death Note is just incredible overall. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a good show. The Quintessential Quintuplets, which I've never seen this show in my life. I've never heard of it. Um, I think my friend watched it once, but in a theoretical parallel universe from ours where I did watch the show, I would have to put the Quintessential Quintuplets in A tier because much like Kaguya-sama, I thought it was really funny and interesting. But of course, I haven't seen it. So in a theoretical universe where I have seen it, I'll put it at the bottom of A tier, which is absolutely crazy because that would mean it's above FMA and Monogatari, which most people would kill me for, and it's above JoJo. Um, but I haven't seen the show, so this is in a theoretical universe where I have seen this show, which I haven't. But if I did watch the show, then I'll put it right here. All right, so that's my list. I think this is absolutely a trash list. For most people. If you disagree with me, fight. I think I've been too nice, honestly. There's some stuff out. If I was being completely honest, I think some stuff here would kind of change, but that'd just be way too controversial. So yeah, I think that's it. All right, this is the most embarrassing video I've ever made, man. I'm exposing myself for the entire world to see. Oshinoko season 2 just came out. Oh, I didn't add Oshinoko. Wait, what the heck? Why didn't I? Oshinoko, it's gonna if I did add it, it would have to go in somewhere in the middle of A tier. Is there any other anime I missed? Let's see. Oh, I haven't seen that show. I don't know what tier. Dude, this is a mega expose on my. I'm exposing. I'm self-reporting right now. I'm exposing my. Oh, I didn't rate it. I guess I didn't rate it. I didn't rate Oshinoko. All right, whatever. All right, see you guys.